6:14 now. There is a truly unique auction based right here in Washington with the promise of giving you your own piece of space history. GZ Auctions in Davenport hosts their NASA Space and Aviation collectible auction tomorrow with plenty of stories and memorabilia that are literally out of this world. After 30 years of working as an auctioneer, Grant Zahaiko says it takes something pretty special to really surprise him when he's putting together a new auction. This week's feature event started off with an unexpected box that once belonged to U.S. Army veteran Bill Endicott.
We didn't really know what we had yet on that one because they just found it after he passed earlier this year. Everything was boxed up. What we ended up finding was about 600 film reels and about 600 photographs that he gathered while covering the astronauts and the space programs.
Endicott signed up as a reporter to cover NASA starting in the year 1961. That's also known as the first year that man traveled into space.
As I'm processing these photos, we have the famous first shot of the Earth from the moon. There's a beautiful collection of color slides of the astronauts walking and placing the flag on the moon. And so I get excited about the history that we're looking at here, the history that's been basically archived and boxed up for 50 years that's now coming out again.
And soon Endicott's archives became the backbone of this Thursday's auction, with plenty of incredible artifacts based on NASA, space exploration, and other aviation stories in our nation's history. It includes Neil Armstrong's signatures and Buzz Aldrin autographed photos, but one of Zahaiko's favorite story pieces comes from Alan Shepard, the fifth man to walk on the moon and the first man to bring his own golf club and golf ball along with him.
The infamous, drive off the moon, which he called the longest drive of his life, because of course that went and then just kept going, and it's still probably flying in space right now today.
And years later, an entertainer at a golf event would ask Shepard to sign a golf ball for her. Not only was it something he said he'd never done before, but because of the shape of the ball, he actually couldn't figure out how to sign it at first.
So she goes back up to her room, gets a nail file, and they file an area for him to be a little bit easier for him to sign. And he said right there that this is the very first golf ball that he ever autographed.
Just one of more than 350 unique stories available this week for novice and veteran collectors alike. So if you're curious about giving this auction a try this week, the price ranges have options for anyone to consider. I've actually got on my tablet right now the website so we can look through some of the items right now. You can see here that some of them are listed in the $50 to $100 range. We've got photos, we've got stamps included. There's some pretty cool stuff here. I'm seeing here air race cardboard signs that take place in the national air races all across the country back in the 1920s. Scrolling down a little bit more, there's some full tickets to other air races. Scrolling down, there's plenty of stuff. And again, these are all in the $50, $60 price ranges, and that's just the estimated value on what these things could be. Of course, the auction does start tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Registration is open right now, and we've got the details for you on crim.com as well as links on how you could go to this auction site, check out the items yourself, and see if there's anything you would like to try and buy starting tomorrow morning at 9.